All right, after protest at India Gate turns violent, Delhi police says protesters at the India Gate held posters of Maoist commander Madhvi Hidma, tried to block the road also. Delhi police takes action against protesters. 15 protesters arrested by Delhi police. Protesters arrested on charges of attacking a government officer. While on discharging of the duty, the protesters had used chili spray on Delhi police personnel. All right, so this protest which was going on at India Gate turned violent. That's something which it seems. Anshul Singh is joining us on this story to give us more insights. Anshul, when exactly this protest was taking place, and Delhi police is alleging that one of their personnel was in fact beaten of sorts by the protesters?
Yes, several of the Delhi police personnel had gotten injured due to the pepper spray and chili spray that was used by the protesters. Remember, last time around approximately 2 weeks ago, several people from the national capital and environmentalists had taken to the streets on India Gate, where they had carried out this protest against the rising level of toxic pollutants out here in the national capital. This time around, that is yesterday late evening, a few students, protesters gathered at India Gate. Initially, they were raising slogans of the rising level of pollution level out here in the national capital, but eventually it turned into slogans that were being raised in favor of Hidma, who was recently killed in the anti-Naxalite operations that are being undertaken by the Indian administration at this point in time. And from there, as the Delhi police tried to go ahead and try to remove them from the spot, as India Gate is not the designated site to carry out protests, and the designated site is Jantar Mantar out here in the national capital. So as the police personnel tried to remove them from the spot, because it was a high security area where this protest was happening, and slogans in favor of Naxalites were being raised, and hence while they were being removed, a few students were carrying these pepper sprays and red chili sprays that were sprayed on the Delhi police personnel, due to which several of them had gotten injured. Eventually all of them were treated at the RML hospital. Now at this point in time, 15 protesters have been taken into custody by the Delhi police on charges of obstruction of duty of a government officer, and the manner in which they had blocked a high profile road out here in the national capital. So 15 of them have been arrested after the medical tests have been done. But yes, this time around it is seeming like that these protesters did not gather at India Gate to raise their voice against the rising level of pollutions, but there was this hidden agenda of trying to propagate the voice of Naxalites out here in the national capital. Since the time Hidma has been killed, there have been protests that has happened inside the campuses of several colleges by left-back student unions. This time around, they decided to take on the streets, and under the garb of protesting for rising levels of pollution, they started to raise slogans in favor of Naxalites and Naxal operations and the Naxal movement. So this is seeming like a conspiracy to go ahead and give a larger message that yes, there are students who are still speaking for Naxalites out here in the national capital. So definitely this action has been taken. At this point in time, the charges that have been pressed of blockage of roads and obstruction of justice. But yes, once they would be produced in front of the courts, it remains to be seen what kind of arguments will the Delhi police put forth, and if at all this entire matter of raising pro-Naxalite slogans out here in the national capital would also be taken up by the Delhi police in front of the courts.
Anshu, stay with us. We have some reactions on this story, then I'll come back to you.
ये कुछ 50-60 प्रोटेस्टर आए थे इंडिया गेट के अंदर. उन लोगों को बताया गया कि इंडिया गेट एक डेजिग्नेटेड प्रोटेस्ट साइट नहीं है. अगर प्रोटेस्ट करना है तो जंतर मंतर पे आप अप्लाई करके प्रोसीजर फॉलो करके आप वहां पे प्रोटेस्ट की परमिशन ले सकते हैं. लेकिन इस विषय में वो नहीं माने और उन्होंने बैरिकेड तोड़ते हुए सी हेक्सागन के अंदर जो मेन रोड है उस रोड को ब्लॉक किया, जिसपे भी उनको काफी रिक्वेस्ट की गई कि पीछे काफी एम्बुलेंस और जो लोगों को अपने घर जाना है इमरजेंसी में, उन लोगों को परेशानी हो रही है. जो लोग थे जिनको समस्या उत्पन्न हो रही थी सिविलियंस को, उनमें काफी उग्र हो रहे थे, उनमें काफी परेशानी उनको हो रही थी, जिससे हमें लग रहा था कि वो लोग आए भी और उनके अंदर स्कफल हो सकता है, वो झगड़ा कर सकता है, मारपीट की संभावना. तो इसलिए उनको, जो लोग प्रोटेस्ट पे बैठे हुए थे, उनको हमने रोड के साइड में किया. प्रोटेस्टर्स ने पुलिस के साथ झगड़ा किया, जिसमें कुछ पुलिस पर्सनल्स के साथ हाथापाई में पुलिस पर्सनल्स को भी इंजरी आई है.
हिडमा एक आदिवासी व्यक्ति हैं जिन्होंने अपने हक के लिए हथियार उठाए थे। नाउ पीपल कैन डिसएग्री विद दैट मेथड। वो कह सकते हैं कि ये तरीका गलत है, लेकिन वो यह नहीं कह सकते कि जिस कारण से आदिवासियों को हथियार उठाने पड़ रहे हैं अपने हक के लिए लड़ने के लिए, वो गलत है। कॉर्पोरेटाइजेशन के खिलाफ जो लड़ाई है, वो लड़ाई आदिवासियों की है, वो जल जंगल ज़मीन की लड़ाई है, और उसके हक में नारे लगाना को एंटी नेशनल नहीं कहा जा सकता, और उसके लिए इस टाइप की रिप्रेशन लोगों पे नहीं की जा सकती। जल जंगल ज़मीन की लड़ाई के लिए नारे लगना एनवायरनमेंट से बहुत ही क्लोजली कनेक्टेड है। ये जल जंगल ज़मीन की जो लड़ाई है, जो कॉमन मासेस की लड़ाई है, और साथ में जो इस टॉक्सिक एयर के खिलाफ वो लड़ाई इंट्रिकेटली जुड़ी हुई है। ये बहुत जुड़ी हुई लड़ाई है।
All right, so these were the students who were at India Gate protesting, and in fact, in that protest, you can see the visuals here. Though they started this protest on the name of pollution in Delhi, but in the middle of the protest, you can see these youngsters who were present there. They have this poster in their hands which says from. In fact, it is talking about Madhvi Hidma. They were in fact raising slogans in favor of Hidma. Remember, on 18th of November this month itself, Hidma was neutralized by Indian forces, and he's somebody who's known to conduct various operations against security forces. He has, bloods on his hand of multiple security personnel, and you can see these people gathering at India Gate on the pretext of protesting on Delhi pollution, putting out this poster supporting Madhvi Hidma. And in fact, we just heard the reactions of these students, that how openly they were supporting what Madhvi Hidma had done over the years. And in fact, that's what the DCP has said in that reaction, that they were protesting on pollution, and later on they came up with this poster. And then, of course, when police tried to stop them and asked them to vacate this place because India Gate is not designated for the protest, and then, of course, that altercation happened, which then later on got into certain scuffle also. Anshul Singh is back with us on this story. Anshul, of course, we were hearing the reaction of the DCP in this regard. He was saying that when this protest was taking place, the police officials reached on the spot. They asked them that India Gate is not a designated place. You should move to some other place. But it seems that on the pretext of pollution, they got out this poster and started praising Hidma.
Well, definitely this was the hidden agenda at this point in time. That is what it is seeming like, because last time around there were several prominent personalities of the national capital, several environmentalists who were part of the protest that took place outside India Gate. But this time around, none of them were there. These were just around 50 to 60 college-going students, as it seemed, and suddenly they started to raise slogans in favor of Naxalites. And we just heard that soundbite as well. That how misguided are these youths, and the manner in which they were raising these slogans actually tells an entire story of how they were actually trying to propagate something else. Remember, the kind of slogans that were raised was similar slogans that were raised in favor of Afzal Guru. Slogans like "Kitne Afzal maroge, har ghar mein Afzal niklega." Similar slogans were raised over here as well. So definitely, this is a massive cause of concern. These students who initially started the protest as a protest against the rising pollution levels out here in the national capital suddenly turned into a pro-Naxalite protest, and the entire agenda as to what was the exact agenda or what was the exact messaging that was being done by them, that is something that will eventually be investigated by the Delhi police. But at this point in time, 15 of these protesters have been arrested by the Delhi police formally, and probably this is after a very long time that protesters have been arrested by the police. Now, since they have been arrested, their medical checkups have been done, and in the next few minutes they will be produced in front of the Patiala House Court, where the police could ask for further custody just to figure out that what was the exact agenda of this protest. Was someone actually promoting them or actually supporting them to carry out such protest or to raise such slogans right at India Gate? So all these questions will be answered as the custodial interrogation of these accused or of these protesters have already been taken up by the Delhi police, and in the next few hours we can expect that they will be produced in front of the courts, where further right. interrogation, permission for further interrogation could be sought from the side of the Delhi police.
That's right. Thank you so much, Anshul, for joining us on this story.